as part of the plan to reduce the Dunkirk garrison. Lieutenant Joe Nixon recalls the story of a simple operation that goes very wrong.
My first experience with the Germans, I think, was when we got to area of Spycker, into that area. Our attack was, I think, very successful in that we got in there without too much difficulty. And it was a counterattack that they threw at us. I caught some of our troops by surprise, and they had us with our heads down. We collected the troops that we could get in touch with, and we all moved over to the schoolhouse just next to the church and the cemetery. And there were about 55 of us that got into that schoolhouse.
At midnight, the Germans discover the Black Watch, and all hell breaks loose.
I took over the job of running upstairs and throwing grenades out through a big hole in the roof that there was. I think I probably had about 3 trips down to replenish and got up again, and they must have thrown one back up at me. I had a very brief recollection of a flash and a thundering noise, but I ended up at the bottom of the stairs. I didn't remember anything until the following morning at about 9 o'clock when I came to. And when I did, there were 2 men that were still there. They told me that there were 18 wounded that we had in the room at the back.
The rest of the Black Watch try to escape in the middle of the night, but are captured by the Germans. In order to protect the wounded and save themselves from capture, the 3 men are forced to fight off continuous German attacks.
And we had all sorts of rifles and all sorts of ammunition and around us. We wanted to think that there were a lot more of us than just the 3 of us there. So we fired the Brennan single round. The other chap and I fired the rifles, and we just kept firing and off into the graveyard. They'd sneak up on us, and they'd throw grenades in. We had several grenades thrown in at us, but they didn't hold on to them too long after pulling the pin. They didn't realize that we could throw them back, so we were tossing them back at them. But this went on till, I guess, about 5 o'clock in the evening, and we got so fed up, and our rifles were starting to, that we were using our rifle. We were firing them so often that in order to get the bolt home, you'd almost have to pull it up and kick it open with your foot. The last time they came up and said, "Come on, Canadians, give up. You don't have to fight anymore. We'll look after you, and you'll be fine." And that was enough to get our dander up. So I took the Piat gun that was there. I don't know why we hadn't thought of it earlier, but we had ammunition, and I put one in, and the only thing we could do was just get around the corner and stand by the door, and I just came out and let it go. It went off with an awful bang, right about 15 feet from where I was standing. And we never heard another word out of them. That stopped everything.
Without food, ammunition, or water, Joe Nixon and the small band of Black Watch Highlanders hold out for 30 hours until finally rescued by a fighting patrol.
I feel coming through that that awful experience was just a miracle. And naturally, I'm delighted that I was able to survive it.
Neither Joe nor his comrades ever receive official recognition for their bravery. But fortunately for Joe and the Black Watch, they are not ordered to renew an attack on Spycker. Instead, the Allies catch a break. Further up the coast, the Germans flee from the Belgian city of Antwerp and leave the huge port undamaged. Finally, the Allies have the port they desperately need. But one of the bloodiest campaigns in Canadian history will have to be fought before they can use it.